In this lecture, let's learn about another useful operator which was introduced in ES6 version of JavaScript, and that is the spread operator. The spread operator in JavaScript, it is a powerful and versatile feature that allows you to expand iterable objects like arrays, strings, maps, etc. So basically, it allows you to extract the elements of an array or the properties of an object into individual elements. Let's try to understand spread operator with some examples. So here we have a very simple array called original array. Now on this array, when we use spread operator, let's see what happens. So first of all, let me go ahead and let me log this original array. And if I save the changes, you will see that an array has been logged where we have three elements, 1, 2, and 3. Now on this original array, if we use spread operator, and to use spread operator, we need to use three dots before the iterable. In this case, before this original array. So this three dot represents spread operator. So when we are using these three dots on this original array, this three dot, that means the spread operator, it is going to extract the elements from this original array and they will become individual values. They will not be part of this original array anymore. If I save the changes, you will see that now this 1, 2, and 3, these values are logged as independent values. They're not part of any array. So basically, this spread operator has extracted all the elements of this original array and they have become individual values. They are no more element of an array. And this is the use of spread operator. It basically extracts the elements of an array or the properties of an object into individual values. Now, one use case where you can use spread operator is when you want to create a copy of an array. So for example, let's say you have this original array and you want to create a copy of this array. What you can do is you can create a variable, let's call it as copy array, and then use square brackets like this. Inside that, use original array, and here we need to use this equal to sign. Okay, so here what will happen is we are creating an array and the element of that array will be the original array. So inside this outer array, we will have a nested array with these three elements. If I go ahead and if I log original array, I mean this copy array, you will see that we have an array and in that array, we have another array as its element, and in that nested array, we have these three elements 1, 2, 3. But here on this original array, if I go ahead and if I use spread operator, what will happen is the elements of this original array will be extracted and now they will become the elements of this outer array. So now if I save the changes, you will see that now when we are logging the copy array, it is logging an array with three elements, 1, 2, and 3. So basically, this spread operator, it extracted all the elements of this original array, and now those elements are the elements of this outer array. And in this way, we have created a copy of the original array by using the spread operator on the original array. And now if we go ahead and if we add something in the original array, so for example, let's say original array dot push, and let's push an element 4. And if we log copy array and original array, if I save the changes, you will see that this new element has been pushed to the original array. It has not affected the copy array. So this is one use case where we can use spread operator when we want to create a copy of an array. And this is widely used way of creating a copy of an array in JavaScript. Another use case is, let's say you have two arrays with some elements. And now what you want is, you want to create a new array. Let's call it as new array. And in that array, you want to have the elements from both array 1 and array 2. So inside these square brackets, what you can do is you can use spread operator on array 1, comma, and then spread operator on array 2. What this will do, it will extract the elements from array 1. So it will extract 1, 2, and 3, and they will become elements of this new array. And it will also extract the elements from array 2, and those elements will also become an element of this new array. So if I go ahead and if I log this new array in the console, if I save the changes, you will see that this new array, it is an array which has elements from array 1 and array 2. And if you want to add some extra elements in this array at any position, so for example, if you want to add 0 at first position, and then you want to extract all the elements from array 1, and then you want to add some elements after that, so for example 4 and 5, and then you want to extract the elements from array 2, that also you can do. So the first element of this new array will be 0, then second, third, and fourth element of this array will be the element from this array 1, the fifth and sixth element will be 4 and 5, and then seventh, eighth, and ninth element will be the elements from array 2. So if I save the changes now, you will see that those are the elements of this new array. So this is also possible. So using the spread operator, you can also create a new array by extracting the elements from an existing array along with some new values in that array. You can also use spread operator on a string value. And when you use spread operator on a string value, it extracts all the characters of that string. So for example, let's say console.log, and here let me go and let me use this spread operator on a string value hello. If I save the changes, you will see that the characters of this string value are now individual values. So this hello is no more a string. Instead, here we have all the characters from this string as individual values. And here, if you want to create an array of characters from a string value, then you need to write this expression within square brackets like this. So in this way, what will happen? The characters of this string will become element of an array. If I save the changes now, you will see that now we have an array, and in that array, all the characters of this string are the elements of that array. Finally, you can also use spread operator on objects. So let me create an object here. I'll call it as obj1, and then let's say here I have two properties A and B. Now what I want is I want to create a new object. I'll call it as obj2, and in this object I want to have all the properties from obj1, and then I want to have an extra property called C. So for that, what we can do, again, we can use a set of curly braces, because here we want to create an object. In that object, we want to have all the properties from obj1. So we can use spread operator on obj1. In this way, the properties of this obj1 will become the properties of this object, which we are creating using curly braces. So in this object, now we will have two properties, A and B. Let me actually show you that. Here, let's log obj2. So if I save the changes, you will see that in obj2 we have two properties A and B. So basically here the spread operator, it extracted this property A and this property B from obj1, and these properties become the property of this outer object. And here, let's say I also want to add another property C with value 3. If I save the changes now, you will see that in obj2, now we have three properties, two properties from obj1 with the same values, and a third property C with the value 3. So in this way, we can also use spread operator on an object in order to extract its properties. Now, using this spread operator, let's say I have extracted obj1, the properties of obj1. I have added another property C for obj2, and I also want to override the value of, let's say, property A. So here I can say A equals 10. So what this will do is, since we have extracted the property from obj1, there we have this property A which is assigned with the value 1. So that will be extracted, but at this line, that property's value will be overridden with this new value 10. So if I save the changes, Now you will see that we have three properties A, B and C, but the value of property A is 10. So here in this way, after extracting the properties from obj1, we are overriding the value of one of its properties. So this is also possible. So this is spread operator. Spread operator is used to extract the elements of an array or the properties of an object into individual values. Again, we will see the practical use case of this spread operator when we will start working on a simple web application project where we are going to use all the syntax and all the operators which we are learning in this section. There, we will also use this spread operator to understand a use case where the spread operator can be useful. So, we can use spread operator for creating a shallow copy of an array or an object. The spread operator works with iterable, like you can use spread operator on arrays, strings, maps, sets, etc. And when we use spread operator, it makes the code more readable. So this is all about spread operator. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.